how to download a file from Google Docs when it's fighting you, because it will. And some of you don't have to deal with this, so you don't have to watch the video, right? Let's say you have a link that goes to docs.google.com/document/d/ a whole string of characters, and then it'll end with a /view or edit. I guarantee you, unless you're using the right browser, it's going to give you an inappropriate switch at the end that'll say edit when you mean view or view when you mean edit. Because it will. It's tacitly harassing people who aren't using the correct browser. Anyway, you replace that switch at the end. It has to be some openly, easily understood spelled out word or just the ending /. And you can replace that after the / with export $GID equals 0&format equals, and then you select one of your common formats like zip, PDF, CSV, TSV, XLSX, or ODS. These are different file standards that are used by mostly different systems. I'm suggesting you use zip, so it'll grab the page that should be a web page, turn it back into a real web page. I'll get to that rant in a minute. And then it'll dump it onto your computer as a zip file that you can open up and unzip it. Or PDF file. You can do the other formats for different things like spreadsheets and such. And I didn't find a video that got simply to the point as fast as possible, like in a minute and 30 seconds like I just did. Now we're going to go into the rant in a minute, but I was on Daily Dose of the Internet YouTube channel, went to one of their videos, somewhat recent, and had a link to Google Docs because they didn't want to fill up their description with links to their sources, which I'm going to explain how to do to get around Google doing things. Anyway, it goes to a Google Docs page. And instead of it putting up a text page as text, it put up a picture of the text page, showing up more bandwidth by literally 400 to 1, and of course using their own proprietary image and linking format and everything else. And then making touch-sensitive areas on this picture for you to click that don't work unless you're using the right browser. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. So, this fails to let you click the links, which is the entire fucking purpose of the page. And I mean that in both directions. The whole purpose of Daily Dose of Internet uploading, which should have been just a string of characters that led to Instagram.com/p/string of characters /. That's a 7-element item. It just shows the word underneath the word bunny, which is what I was trying to click to get the little bunny video. It shows the word link in blue. And when you click on it, nothing happens. If you right-click on it, it will not tell you what it is. It is protecting this pure text file that was uploaded by Daily Dose of the Internet for transparency as to where they're getting content from, which they need to do, oddly enough, for legal reasons. But instead of it leaving it in the perfectly legal standard of a TXT file, something that's been around since the beginning of not the internet, but computers themselves, it turns it into their recent version of an SVG or some other fucked up format or WMA or whatever file format they chose. I didn't even look at it. It could be anything. And made sure that it was protecting it so that you can't use it unless you use a newer browser or a certain browser. And then when I downloaded it as HTML or PDF, when I found the links were actually linkable, when I could highlight them, I right-clicked the content and it included tracking codes because Google inserted tracking codes. I don't think Daily Dose of the Internet stuck tracking codes in every fucking file link. So the rant is in progress, but again, I'm suggesting zip format or PDF format or whatever you think is appropriate. Try all of them. I have a link example below to all of them. All you have to do is change the part after the D and right before the /export, and you can put in any of them. In fact, this should be something that we have a utility for. Guess why we don't have it? Either A, Google is frowning upon it and going after people and deranking them, or K, people don't think it's necessary. Something else I spent an hour doing. A website decided to use some image format, SVG, something like that, SVG, and fill up the entire page with images that were 3 times wider and 3 times taller than an entire page, blocking usage of the website because they put it up in a menu where they forgot to include the dimension data. Oh well, upgrade your browser to the newest thing. No, I won't. I just went through and I used a utility that blocks 100% of images on the website. If you're not willing to just stop doing something you know will fuck with anybody using a browser more than 1 month old, if you're not willing to fix this, or if you're willing to do this and piss off, I would say 10% of the internet, I don't give a fuck about your imagery. And guess what? When I blocked all the images that were big, it just showed a normal web page. In fact, it looked like something that someone typed up accidentally and poorly on a BBS from the 1980s, actually. Really? So it's 1980s looking page, but you stuck graphics on it that don't format correctly because it's missing, because you're relying on some canvas feature or something like that that only works on Google Chrome. Best viewed with Internet Explorer 3. Act now or we'll infect your computer anyway and fucking make you use it. Okay, next part of the rant. You don't need to watch the rest of this video. Google has become a monopoly just like Microsoft Corporation did. And you might have noticed Microsoft Corporation isn't really fucking with file standards or web standards as much. At least we're not overtly, we're not seeing it. And the reason for that is they were declared a de facto monopoly and told to stop doing it or they would be broken up. They tacitly and quietly, submissively, in some humiliation ceremony, some of you are imagining, I'm hoping Bill Gates got whipped, were compelled to stop doing this. You might have noticed Internet Explorer is just not a thing. We don't even deal with, Edge or whatever it's called. We don't care about those things anymore. We use browsers that we want. And now the browser wars are starting up again from one fucking company. Apple gave up trying to control streaming because they can't. There's too many alternatives. They even lowered the prices for a little while. YouTube wants to charge you money just to shut off ads. And let's get on the ads and links. In the comments section, you can post a link to something if you pay them money. Or if I pay them money, I can include links in my description. Or if I verify for the umpteenth time. I verified both of my accounts that are currently existing. I counted over 10 times each, apparently. I guess that's not enough anymore. Because they want a current phone number that works on a cell phone. It has to be a smartphone, and they want you to check in on an hourly basis by making sure if you don't use your cell phone. Some YouTubers have said that their YouTube channel gets threatened with shutdown because they want tracking data. All of this is evil. All of it is happening. It's the way it is. Sorry. So yeah, when you download a doc from I'm presuming a pretty innocent YouTube channel, Daily Dose of the Internet, and it contains track links, I would bet that they would have uploaded the thing with the word bunny or whatever I was going to click, and then right under it just had the URL. Well, that was a mistake because URLs are monetizable. Now, what I do, in my description of my video, unless they change it later, it will say, for the Instagram link, instead of it having HTTPS or whatever, it'll say Instagram.com/p/whatever. It will not include the first part, which seems to trick YouTube into not turning it into something they can monetize. Well, we want to make it a link so we can add tracking cookies to it. Yeah, but you want me to confirm the account for the, 50th time, and you want me to pay you money, so I'm not going to do it. So I'm going to put it in this way. Well, fine, we won't monetize it. Oh, no, don't give me what I'm demanding. And it also makes it where you can just cut and paste the description and it can't turn it into something broken like Google Docs did. Next, I put up Google Docs that were pure text before. I went back and checked them later. They didn't do this. I'm thinking of doing the experiment again to see if they automatically turn it into, again, a non-compliant picture of the damn thing with clickable hotspot areas that are not compliant, because I don't know if you know this, making a picture with Canvas or whatever and making a hotspot clickable for a link breaks a lot. Instead of just leave it the fuck alone and let us use a 30-plus-year-old format called text. Overcomplicating shit so you can hide a fucking tracking cookie? Really? And all it did is succeed in breaking a file that Daily Dose of Internet, a YouTube channel, might have had to put up for legal reasons. Yeah, it'll work on some browser, By the way, if you're not aware, but Google Chrome is not the most popular browser among PC users. On handhelds, cell phones, smartphones, maybe, but well, all you have to do is get the newest version. In order to use the newest version so it'll shut the fuck up, I have to use Windows 11 now, because, yeah, all the websites are basically pushing 11. Why? Because Microsoft Corporation is still a monopoly, and they're actually paying websites to exclude you if you don't use it. By the way, I want to point out that on websites, a lot of them now deliberately make all of the SVG files, look up who made that up, or whatever file format, become the same size or double the size of the screen unless you use the latest browser, which again requires the latest OS. Gee, I wonder if that sounds like they're trying to push you. It's like almost like a game company putting out really shitty performing games, calling them AAA, Blizzard. And then, oh, by the way, we have an affiliate marketing thing where we're trying to get you to buy the latest hardware and motherboard and everything like that. And, oh, by the way, it also includes a supervisor layer in the hardware so Microsoft Corporation can remote shut off your shit. And so can we. Yeah. Have you noticed a lot of people downloading Windows 7? And it's becoming a lot more popular lately just because Windows 11 was caught, number one, breaking, and number two, so much spyware. Meanwhile, everybody else laughing in Linux. Rant not over, because it's never going to end. Again, as I said in another video, I think on another channel, this is all designed to get you used to being pestered to death in order to do what you're told. You are being made into an obedient little bitch. Disobey. Resist. So until Google plugs this security problem, they're going to call it a security problem, of us being able to download files. By the way, this was posted so people should be able to cut and paste the data. Until they plug this hole by taking away the export function, which, by the way, doesn't work if you don't use a certain browser. If you click the buttons to do it, it doesn't work. Also, everything that is just pure text where they could just change the font size, that's deprecated. We use an incompatible text format being really just a picture. They even made it blurry. I mean, really? So, yeah. See also a couple of archive.is pages for it. Also, archive.org went down again because it's under attack or whatever. We'll find out later about that. And please tell the person at Daily Dose of the Internet that his maybe legally mandated text file is being turned into something that is being data mined and, more importantly, made unusable for at least some portion of the population. And no, I'm not going to upgrade my browser. I'm going to just tell it to lie about which version it is. And it still didn't fucking help. But anyway, yeah, the download capabilities are PDS, CSV, TSV, ODS, zip, which is just HTML version, which actually does work and is compliant, which they could have done in the first place, or XLSX, extended Excel file. That's about it. Thanks for watching. Have a good day. Good luck with that. You'll all need it.